I don't care what he's benching. I don't care what he's benching. I have a goal. I didn't get in this sport to please others.
It's time to sit down, keep it real, and cut the bullshit. Welcome to Table Talk.
I think most of us would agree that getting a coach is a great step forward that an athlete can make to make greater progress. What if you had a whole bunch of coaches and a whole bunch of driven elite level athletes and like-minded people all in your corner trying to make you better? That's exactly what you're going to get with the Table Talk Discord crew.
Would I join again? Absolutely. And I will continue to be a member of the Discord group as long as it's active. I've been a big fan of Table Talk over the last couple of years. It's one of my top podcasts that I listen to. So once Dave Tate announced that there would be a Discord crew, it was a no-brainer for me to join. It's been overwhelmingly positive experience. One of the biggest benefits of being in the Discord crew, form checks. I work out in my garage by myself. I don't have people to cue me, to correct me, to coach me, anything like that. So being able to hop on the Discord, post my videos, and having elite top-level powerlifters and coaches able to give me real-time feedback that, hey man, you need to tweak this, you need to work on this, do some more accessories here, has been a huge benefit. I've seen my progression as a lifter make jumps just because of that. There's so much info on the Discord group for the members, thousands of articles, tons of ebooks, and really the best thing about it, it's like you're back in the gym, you're busting other people's balls sometimes. At the same time, you're getting really good information. It's been a blessing for me this last year, and I really recommend it.
When I was up here as a teenager, early 20s, I was a stone's throw away from there was a meet every weekend, whether that be UPA, APA, IPA, USAPL, USPF, that was still a thing. I would do anything as long as it was within a reasonable driving distance, being a kid with like no money. Now, I have no choice. I have to leave the state to compete, whether that be north, south, east, Ohio, whatever the fuck it is, because I'm not going to compete USAPL, USPA. I've had experiences with both those feds. I will never do that shit again. But I don't know why you wouldn't want to explore more options of the sport that it has to offer. I don't understand that. I don't get it.
Well, there's as this you've done a very good job with, as there's politics associated with the sport, right? And as you come into the sport, you have no idea what those are.
Yeah.
Like the kids that are training within your club or the younger guys that are training here, they have no idea what the hell is behind the curtain, like the Wizard of Oz. I explained this in one of the podcasts earlier. And then as you become better, it's very exposed. What's in all of that.
Yep.
But you still, and it can get to you, right? I mean, nobody's going to bullshit about this. It can get to you.
Sure.
But then you can quickly realize what we talked about earlier. I have no control on this.
Yeah.
And then you just make your choice and you go the other way.
Yeah.
You've done an amazing job at staying out of all that crap. And being in an arena that has a lot of shit, less now, thrown at, actually the biggest shit thrown at it, because the band shirt, so it's multiply, which is already shit, geared, which is already shit, then the band shirt, now here comes the dump truck.
Okay.
Right. So, and that's from the peanut gallery, right? Well, there's also from the top end too, where some feds are going to want you to compete, other ones are going to, because it helps them.
Yes.
Right. Meanwhile, you've been able to maintain this focus on, doesn't matter, what I need is the right bench, the right bar, the right plates, and be able to keep that number one thing in focus without the distractions.
Oh yeah.
That goes back to the mindset. But how do you, or is it your wife, how do you check yourself when it gets off kilter? Say it becomes so let's say you're at 0 and it becomes a standard deviation away. Like you find yourself coming home like, I can't believe this bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just, again, things, I don't know. I've always, from day one all the way till I'm talking to you now, I've always only been most concerned with me in the sport. I wasn't in the mindset. I think there was an example. This is secondhand. I'm not sure if this is true, but I heard that, like, I think Mark Bell had a what he called a kill list, where he'd have a list of people that he wanted to beat. He'd beat one, cross it out, go to the next guy, cross it out, go to the next guy. So once you get to the top, we beat all you can beat. It's like, what else is there now? Like, well, I beat everybody. Ooh. Now me, I've always just like, I want to improve. What's my number? What's my number? If I beat people along the way, if I break records, those are kind of bonuses. Now, I'm not going to lie and say I've never thought about breaking a record. I have. Who hasn't? So because I've always had such a inner mental focus on just what I'm doing, like, fuck the distractions. I don't care what he's benching. I don't care what he's benching. I have a goal, whether takes me a year to get there, 2 years, whether I'm the first to do it or the first not to do it, doesn't matter. I've always just been focused on what I want to get from the sport and just doing what I want to do anyway, and not like, and I have people I help, but I'm not in this sport. I didn't get in this sport to please others. I'm in this sport for myself.
Yes.
So that's kind of what. So there, I hear a lot of things and I see a lot of things, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk it out, I guess, but it stays between us.
Mm-hmm.
So I never just sit on something and just kind of like let it fester. I get it out, but it stays between us.
Yeah.
In our living room. So if it, stuff comes up in conversations like in our crew, like, oh, did you see this? You hear that? I'm like, yeah, bro, fuck that. But
yeah,
that's kind of the mindset I've had.
Well, and as you just stated, the sport is selfish. You're only in it for yourself. Not only, but you're in it for yourself.
Yes.
Right. So all these things are aligned in a very selfish, egotistical way. Mm-hmm. And we see that in the sport rampantly, right? But you're not that. You actually give a shit about other people.
Yes.
You care about the other people.
Yes.
While you still are able to maintain your focus on what you want to do, you're also able to be very humble and be a very great example for the sport. So that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you keep that balanced? Or is it just a personality trait?
It has to be that, because I don't have an explanation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't do this sport for anybody but myself. But I would kill for anybody in my crew. Yeah. Any of my friends, anybody that I've ever worked out with, even years ago, Blackstones, Iron Chamber, whatever it's been. I don't know. It has to be personality. I don't know what else it could be. Mm-hmm. Because I could say out loud, like, I do this sport for me, but if I wasn't competing, you damn sure bet I would still be in the gym helping out my crew. Like, I'm not just going to say, I'm done lifting and these are the best friends I have outside the sport. And I'm saying, like, anybody who's involved with me with lifting, whether it be, Jericho with my chiropractic service, Anderson Powerlifting, any of my sponsors, any of my friends, anybody I've ever associated with in the sport ever. But outside the sport, I don't have any friends. I don't have drinking buddies or just chill out, hang out buddies. Mm-hmm. Everybody I am friends with is in the sport in some way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. And that's how I want it. I don't talk to anybody from high school. I don't talk to anybody besides those who I've been involved with competitively or in a gym. That's who I keep in contact with. Mm-hmm. And I love it that way. And helping others, I get like personal, I guess I'll use that word pleasure, I guess, not in a weird way, but by helping others and seeing them grow from it. I really enjoy that. It brings me such joy to see Taylor or Brian or Zach or Dean, Owen, whoever I'm helping, Paul, just take knowledge and apply it and get better. Mm-hmm. You can't buy that. It's so cool to see.
Well, it's the point I'm trying to make is we can go through this podcast and pull clips out of things that you just said. I'm only in this for myself. I do this, and put that out there. And if it was almost anybody else sitting at the table saying that, people would say, that's an egotistical motherfucker right there. But because it's you, when people ask, about you, when I ask about you, and stuff like that, your numbers are not the first thing people say. What they say is he's a fucking great dude. Yeah. So that actually is above and beyond, the numbers for the people that know you. Mm-hmm. right? Now, granted, we're in the small niche,
Sure.
little
Oh, yeah,
area,
it's
which is contained, which is smaller and contained. But in the niche that we're in, that's not always the case. It's usually the opposite. The stronger somebody gets, the more records they accumulate.